Okay, hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I am Kimsey Lamiel, founder of Lamiel.com. I am the author of Manifesting Your Intentions, and I am the creator of the Credit Empowerment Program and now the Income Empowerment Program. And I'm sorry that I sound a little nasal, I got a little bit of cold, but anyway, so it's the holiday. I wanted to record this because I'm on vacation and I had a dream last night that somehow, some way, my plan for my children could benefit you. So I hope, even if it's just one person out there trying to figure out this concept. So most of you know I have 8 children, right? And 4 of them are basically 18. One of them 17, but 4 of them are basically adults. 4 are still in school, and I wanted to, after all of my past trials and errors and life mistakes or whatever, I wanted to be in a position to set my children up for success, which is something that I felt like I couldn't do for my children earlier. Like the next 4 coming up, they're gonna have it pretty cush, right? But what can I do for my 4 that are already adults to really put them on the right track in terms of credit, in terms of income, and in terms of life? Because this is not information that they are getting from school. School just doesn't teach it. So I want to share with you, basically, this was my plan for my children, and I think it'll work for children in general. As a matter of fact, I think it'll work for you as well. Is there an investment? Yes. So when I was looking at what would it cost me, right, to put my kids on the right track, credit-wise, financially, owning a home, all of those things, how do I set up this plan of action? And for me, it's something that I want to take place. I want it to take place in the next 9 months, which is clearly possible. And then I realized that a lot of the programs that I'm offering to clients, packaged slightly differently, would benefit my children. And actually it would benefit anybody, even if you're currently in your 20s or in your 30s and you don't have a lot of children, but you need to do this for yourself. If you have children that you want to set up for success, but you're not set up for success first, then set yourself up for success using the same system, and then you already have it to pass on to your kids. So what I realized is that this is a one-time investment. So I've got 8 kids, right? I would invest probably less than $10,000 one time, and it would be able, I'd be able to set me up and every one of my children, right, for a very successful life. And by the time their year of 18, for the 4 that are coming up, their year of 18 is going to be an amazing year of growth and coming in to their own in a way that most children don't get to experience. So what do I mean by that? So most of us at 18 have no credit, right? And so first understand that that's the point of attraction that I'm coming from, how to set them up credit-wise and income-wise for success. I have some kids that want to go to college and some that don't. So that's not what, whether or not they go to school and how long they go to school is irrelevant to this system, okay? Because what you're doing is giving them some information and some tools that they can use, whether they decide they're going to go to school for, I don't know, 20 years and be a doctor or whatever. Okay, so my system here for my children has 6 phases, right? It's for, can you guys see that? So phase 1 is credit. Why is phase 1 credit? When you're 18, you don't have any credit. And then they tell you, well, you got to go through the process of applying and blah, 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 blah. So phase 1 is credit. I have a program called Get Credit. Get Credit program is a one-time investment. And I think right now, because I wanted to tally this up, and I wanted to get my kids started immediately because I need them to be living a different 20-year-old life than I lived, right? So the program, somebody who has to buy that program, it's $388. So what does that mean? You buy the program one time. It allows you to add $17,000, it's just been updated, worth of lines of credit to your credit, to your social security number. Because at 18, they don't need a CPN, because some of you know me from that. At 18, it just needs to be added to their social. And then their credit score goes through the roof because they have available credit. The credit is in their name, and they have lines of credit open. You're going to teach them how to purchase one thing from each one of these companies, pay it off on time. They have an awesome pay history as well. They are 18, and then they damn near should be in the 800 club, if not the 750 club, in terms of their score at 18 off the back, right? So what's the next step? I've got 2 kids that need to replace their cars and 2 kids that need a new car. So with an 800 credit score, you know, when you hear the radio commercials and they say, oh, it's a car sale, right? What holiday are we on? And no money down, $150 a month. Most people are like, yeah, okay, but that's not for the average person. But by taking this one step with this one investment, close that door for me, it sets your kids up to where truly they can walk in and get a brand new car, right? And no money down, $150 a month. Now that's provided that they have some source of income. All of my kids are working, and so getting them a job is not part of this plan. So now they've done phase 2, right? They've gotten transportation. So even if you were to go in and put the money down for them because that's your gift for graduating or whatever, but now you've already given them the gift of perfect credit and transportation. Every kid needs that. We all wanted that. I got my dream car. Actually, I didn't get it when I turned, how old was I? I guess I was 18. I was 17 when I got my dream car. My dream car was a 66 Mustang. And it makes you feel free. You're free. You've got a car. So now they can continue their education. They can get to work. They can do what they want, what needs to be done. It's not even open. There we go. So phase 2. Phase 3 was passive income. I need to create a system where my kids would have some passive income so that if they don't go to work, they could pay for that car, right? And they could definitely make the minimum payments monthly on whatever lines of credit that they chose to take out. So my past is in sales, but sales is not really a passive income. You really have to go out there and work. My kids are not really interested in pounding the pavement. They're really not interested in setting up sales funnels. Like, that's not their thing. So I was looking at some videos the other day and I thought, this is perfect. What they need to learn how to do is trade stocks. So there's a company out there called Forex Trading. So the plan at that point is that now I don't have to pay for this because they've got good enough credit. You've already guided them to apply for a couple of cards. They're going to put their card down and they are going to join Forex Trading. Why? Because whatever their personality types are, they have a system for teaching you how to trade. Even for one of my kids, Kid M, he's not going to want to learn anything. And they have a system where you just see what somebody else is doing, copy and paste it, boom, okay? And then if he makes $100 that day, he can pull it into his bank. If he makes $400 that day, he can do that. I got, Kid R. Kid R is gonna be like, I need to know why you're doing this. How does this work? Where is this going? They have a system where it trains you. They have a school. They have all of these things that are going on. So anyway, the idea is to get them into a passive income system. Right now, what I recommend is Forex trading. Why? Because with very, very little money, your kids, as well as you, but your kids can be making money doing nothing. They can copy what other seasoned investors are doing and make their money, pull it into their bank. They're told when to get in, when to get out, like the whole thing. So even if over the course of the month, if they started with $100 or $200 or somebody said they started with $20 and turned it into $400 in that day. Well, the point of this is it's passive income. They don't have to take the classes initially. They can just simply mirror what's being done by other people. And have some income flow. So now I've covered the fact that they should be able to cover their card payment and make their card monthly payments on their credit cards and whatever credit lines they're using, right? So I've created a passive income for them. This is something that they're going to stay with, they can keep, they're going to learn about, and they can do for the rest of their lives, and they can continue to invest and go big and big. Okay, and go bigger and bigger with this concept. So phase four is the business element. So like I said, not all of my kids are in the sales, and all of my kids really want the same thing. They don't interact with people the same way, right? So when I created and did the outline for my new program, which is Income Empowerment, the way that you become financially free is that you create a situation where your money is working for you, right? And most people are going to do that first through business. So you've got to have more cash flow. So even if ultimately one of my kids only becomes a trader and that's all that they do, they have to have a very good source of income. And so in this, so in this system, they are, I'm sorry, I'm beeping all over the place. What happens in Income Empowerment is that you get business training, but you get business training on all of the different types of business systems that I have utilized and made several thousands of dollars in, okay? So one of the modules is about Shopify, right? So Shopify, I show you how I literally made more than $6,000 in 30 days on Shopify. And they can sell anything. So this appeals to a gamut of people. So I've got a daughter who would love to sell makeup. She can do that on Shopify. I've got a son who, they're really kind of like weed heads in the weed lifestyle. But guess what? When I was making that money, I was selling weed grinders, okay? So you learn about Shopify. I show you how to take $10 and turn it into $13,000 over the course of 6 to 8 weeks on Amazon. How to sell your own products, how to develop your own courses, how to do passive income in the way of real estate. This Income Empowerment program even has a real estate training section that shows you how to wholesale property, because that is one of the ways that I made some of my money. So at different times in my life, I needed to do different things. And in this program, you learn, because it said that the average millionaire has what, 7 sources of income, right? So they have 7 income streams. So you can't put all your eggs in one basket. So if you've got some stuff going on with Amazon, and you've got a store that is selling and is on autopilot with Shopify, and you do some Forex trading, and then you have a business that you're really passionate about, that you put most of your time in, and then maybe you own vending machines, or you own a parking lot, or so that program teaches you how to set up multiple streams of income, some of which you don't have to necessarily do a lot of work for, a lot of which can be passive. But there's enough variety in there so that each one of my children can then start a business, and some of them are more interested in starting a business that is exchange money for time, because that is still where their money mentality is. But the thing is that they'll have the training so that they can stop trading money for time, and they can do what they love and make the money, and then put their money into Forex and have that money make more money for them, right, as an investor. Or they can then do wholesaling, and they can gain property and have rental property. So that's what that Income Empowerment program is about. Now that program is more expensive. I'm sorry, it is like the allergies are acting up and I keep rubbing my nose, but it's a habit. So I think it's like it's less than $250, right, to get into Forex trading, when I was talking about the total investments. My Income Empowerment program is $5,888. So it's about $6,000. Okay. The next phase is to buy property. because where are they going to live? Like, yes, I've had multiple homes with 7 bedrooms, but at some point these kids have got to go somewhere. Like, they can't stay with me forever. So I happen to live in a county that is one of the wealthiest counties in the country. So if you're going to have investment property or you're going to purchase property, that would be an ideal place. I would want them to own property there. And the reason is, even though like one of them plans to move someplace else, however, owning property there, and if he's not living in it, he can actually have it as an investment property because it is one of the wealthiest counties in the country. The income and the demand for his property, even as a rental, is going to be high. He's not going to suffer when other counties' housing situations fluctuate because they're not as in high demand as this particular county. So when I did my research, and I believe every county has this, but there is an affordable dwelling unit is what it's called in our state, affordable dwelling units. So what happens is builders get an incentive. How am I doing on time? So builders get an incentive, okay, for like every 10 houses, they make 1 unit that's going to go into the affordable housing program. And they do this across the country. I just don't know what it's called in every state, and we're going to try to find that so that I can give you that PDF for free. But where I am, I know it's called the affordable dwelling unit, right? So it allows you as a first-time home buyer to buy one of these units. Now, the beauty of this is that usually it is the model. And because it's the model home, it has all the bells, it has all the whistles, blah, blah, blah. So here, now I have 4 kids who are 18 years old, right? And they've got really good credit. They've got their own means of transportation. They've got some passive income with their stock trading, right? And now they are in the process of developing their own business, something that is more niche to them specifically. 2 of them are still going to be going to school, and 2 of them are still going to be working their regular jobs while they're building this. So what happens now is with this affordable dwelling program is that they're first-time home buyers. You have to meet a certain criteria, but as young kids in their, between 18 and in their 20s, it's very easy for them to meet this criteria. Why? Because you've already set them up for success anyway. So I'm just going to tell you real quick, for our county, it says you've got to earn between $23,000 and a month to $23,000. They can't make more than $54,000, but they have to make at least $23,000 a year. So if they are trading and they're getting that income and they do have another job, or that they've already started their business, that's why the business element was first, right? We can control what their income is. So making sure that they meet that income. Of course, they're legal to the country. They don't currently own a home. Their marital status doesn't matter, but they're not married. They have a FICO score of 620. Your kids will have FICO scores in the 700s. And so the only other thing that they require that you do is go in and get a pre-approval letter from a mortgage company. You take all this information in and you qualify for one of these affordable housing dwellings, which is a model home and an amazing community. All they then have to do is have $1,000 ready. So what happens is the list comes up, they find a house that they like. It's almost like a lottery. They've got to be the first one to the office and say, I want this house, and here's my $1,000. They get the house. They're financed, and their mortgage is less than $1,000 or right at $1,000, depending on what they choose, a month, right? So starting now to 9 months from now, my kids will have gone through all 6 of these phases. So that's phase 5. They're going to need $1,000. Okay, so we're looking at $7,500, less than $10,000 investment, all of which can be done in increments over whatever time frame that you want it to be done in. I have a final phase, and the final phase is for us as a family because I have so many children, and because I'm using my own intellectual property to train my children and to fix their mindset, their money mindset, and their vibrational standpoint about everything. Everyone learns at their own pace. So in an effort to protect what my children are being taught, and hopefully what they develop, the final step is a family trust. And so once the kids actually have gone through the process, they're closing on their homes, and you as well are doing the same thing, you want to then consult an attorney and get you a family trust, something that will not allow, should one of the kids get married and then have a separation or a divorce, like the property and certain things that your children own are then not part of excuse me, the marital property, is what I plan to do. So I'm not going to help my kids. One of my children wants to be a real estate investor, so we are going to partner with that, and that's something that that company she's going to be the president of. But she's the president of this company and a major shareholder, and she gets married and there's a divorce. I'm not losing my company because now this dude wants to walk away and take half of what we developed as a family. It's not going to happen. If he has children and they have children together, his children are not going to get equal parts of my company because they were married, unless she chooses to adopt them, or we're not doing that. We're not giving away what we are building as a family, because this is about, as parents, we need to be building an empire and leaving a legacy for our kids. And so in doing so, you have to protect what you've built. My children, all 4 of the children that I'm speaking of, will be through all 5 of these phases. Rashid's 17, so he won't hit the final phase until April or May of next year. But you're talking about less than 12 months, right? Your kids having an opportunity to be set up for credit success and financial success and business success and owning property and having a level of education that is so far superior than anybody right now is getting in this area in college. Okay, even if you had to invest over a year $10,000 to set yourself up like this, and then to set up all your kids, whether you got 1 kid, 4 kids, 8 kids, it doesn't matter. How much money do you pay for college? And then your kids come home from college and they don't know what the fuck they're doing with their lives. Their credit fucking sucks. They're in debt up to their ass, and they may or may not have decent transportation. They damn sure don't own a house. And then what? You've paid out, and you're going to pay for the rest of your fucking life. Of course, unless you get my program and get that shit off your credit, you will be paying for it for the rest of your life, and it will be affecting how you move forward in life. And you've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this for this college education that has done nothing. This simple system can be implemented for you, your husband or significant other, and all of your children. You can then turn around and help other friends and family. And it's less than a $10,000 investment. It's less than a year of study. It's a lot of growth, and it's more than you're going to get and more than your child could get going to college. Now, I'm not saying don't send your kids to college. I mean, I am not a fan of traditional education. I believe traditional education sets you up to be a follower. It trains you to be a follower. That's why you do the same things every day. That's why you have to be concerned about making this teacher happy and this teacher happy and da-da-da-da-da-da. That's not really what you came here for. You got kids who go to school for 12 years, then plus college, and you wonder why, oh, I'm frozen. Okay, there we go. And then you wonder why your kid doesn't know what to do with his life or which way to go, because school has taught you that they're responsible for making everybody happy. They're trying to make you happy as their parents, their grandparents, teachers, all the time, instead of focusing on what makes them happy so that they know what their life calling is about. But I'm going to get off my soapbox in regards to traditional education and just say that whether or not your child Woohoo! I hope you can still hear me, even if you can't see me, because I look frozen to myself. Whether or not your child gets a traditional education, right, or not, income and credit education is what they are going to use for the rest of their lives. And it is worth making the investment. And I didn't show you guys the programs on my site. I'm going to put the link to my courses down below. Feel free to schedule an appointment and talk to me to get yourself on this particular system, to get your children aligned with this system, find out what you need to do, how it can benefit you. There are sometimes some other elements you have to add. Like, for example, I have one daughter whose credit is kind of crappy, and we're not even sure why. So in addition to adding credit to her social, we also have to clear some stuff on her socials. That's an extra step for her, but the other ones don't need it. So it's very customizable, but this is worth the time, the energy, the money, the investment of a year, if it takes you a year to do this, because it's going to change your life. These are the principles that your children are going to be able to live on forever, right? The stuff, how many of you right now use the stuff that they learned in the 3rd grade? You know, I don't even remember why I took geometry, because I can't recall if I've ever had a need to measure a circle. You know, so it's not, some things are very good to learn specific to your trade, but if it's not specific to what your trade is, it's irrelevant information. I live in a state that's really big on history, and they never did shit for me. So taking the time, making the investment, creating a payment plan. People are spending more time trying to pay off debt than they are trying to improve, because see, paying off debt doesn't necessarily improve your credit, okay? Getting credit empowerment, getting income empowerment is more important than paying off the debt on your social. Because why? Because there's a way around that. You could pay it off, but that shouldn't be priority. Priority is getting some empowerment with credit, because of the society we live on, because of how the world runs, right? And once you have this great credit, how are you going to afford to keep making moves and elevate your life? You've got to have some income empowerment. Those things are first. Then you worry about people you owe and stuff you need to pay. And if you don't know how to do that, then you need to go to lamiel.com and schedule an appointment with me, so we can talk about how to do that and why making these payments and paying off debt is not your priority to credit empowerment. You need credit empowerment, you need income empowerment, and it's going to change your life. You're going to set your children up for success. Most of the people throughout history up till current times didn't finish traditional education, but they're part of the 1% that runs, you know, that owns most of the wealth in the world, or this country at the very least. They didn't have traditional education, and they didn't pay off all their debt first. Traditional education tells you got to pay off all your debt, get 2 or 3 jobs, make payments, and then you turn around and you're 50 years old and you still got a student loan and your car's breaking down. Oh, but at least I own it. But you own a piece of shit. That's not how that's not how people aspire to live. And the reason, I could see fairies, and the reason that it's a problem is that's what you learn in traditional education. And that's why I say traditional education is designed to make really good employees. And the people who are living their dream life and who are really, really successful are not really good employees. Actually, they probably made the worst employees. If you got kids who can't keep a job, they need to have a business. There's nothing wrong with them outside of, you know, they're not broken. The society and the system for credit and for income and for money, period, is broken. So then we have this beautiful baby, and the baby, we call them bad because they don't want to conform. They don't want to sit in the chair all day and listen to this teacher talk about stuff that you ever think about it? If your kid fails and goes to summer school, they go to summer school for like 3 fucking weeks. And they learn and they pass the fucking class that you've sent them to school for 9 months for? Come on now, it don't take that long. What you really need to know don't take 12 years. And the stuff, and then they come out of school and can't balance a checkbook, and we don't know what the fuck a FICO score is, and we don't know how to buy a house, and we don't know about refinancing. We don't know which credit cards are best to use. We don't know any of the things that we need to survive outside of make a resume and then sell yourself to a stranger and hope that they have pity enough on you to offer you a job to pay you just enough, you know, to keep you from quitting so you can get up every day and sit in traffic and drag your ass in there and do just enough to keep from getting fired. You need credit empowerment, and you need some income empowerment, and you need to do that so you can pass it on to your children, so that you can build your own personal empire and leave a legacy for your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. That's what this is about. I really, really hope to hear from you. I gotta go. I just needed to get this out because I'm on vacation and I had a dream and I had just put this together for my kids. And I was like, everybody needs to know this, because I didn't know this, you know, when my oldest was 18. So now I know, now you know, now you need to do something about it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave comments below, and or go to lamiel.com. I'll put the link down below, and you can schedule a time to talk to me about getting a program together customized for yourself.